Hi there, welcome to the Player YouTube channel, where we don't just do car reviews, we do tons of other stuff as well. You ready? Run the VT. This is how a car should sound. Listen to this.
I didn't really push it either. I was just having a bit of fun.
Oh really?
I think it makes a good work.
We're going, mate. Nice to see you.
Show us your big chopper, your helicopter. So here we are, the Morgan Roadster. Guys, guess what? It's another morning here out in sunny France. This is the new Hyundai Tucson, and I've got to say, what a stunning looking car. Look at the curves on it, look at the actual shape of the car. It's just simply beautiful. It was designed by a guy called Sang-Yup Lee from the Hyundai Motor Company in South Korea, and I've got to say, his version of what he calls sensuous sportiness embodies everything in this car. My version of it is Friday night after the Pilates class chucks out at the local gym. Let's go and check this car out, see what it's exactly like. So here we are in the Tucson, the fourth generation Tucson no less. It's 2022 and this one had a major makeover back in 2021. The car's been around for a number of years. It was launched back in 2004, believe it or not. Second generation cars didn't bear the name Tucson either. They were called iX35s. But Hyundai soon realised after sales started to drop that customers much preferred the name Tucson. So in generation 3, it got its name back again. Since then, it's sold in excess of 7 million units, making it probably one of the best-selling compact SUVs of all time. It's got a lot of competition though, and that's what we're here to find out, whether it can cut the mustard with the likes of the Seat Ateca, the Volvo XC40 and the mighty Tiguan from Volkswagen. So let's do that, let's get around it and have a look at it and then give you our evaluation of this new Hyundai Tucson. So with your entry-level Tucson, that's the SE Connect, you get a number of nice little bits and pieces. First up, I absolutely love these daytime LED running lights. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just the sheer style of that is incredible. I love it. On the entry-level car, you will only get halogen headlights, but they do come with an auto dusk sensing sensor that's built into them. You get front fog lights, and in addition to that, you will get body-coloured bumpers. Look at that. They all match. Isn't that nice? You get 17-inch alloys. And you will find you get some nice black roof bars. You get some auto-sensing windscreen wipers, and just to top it off, some foldy-in mirrors that heat up in the winter. Tucsons come in 5 different trim levels. Your entry-level car is known as the SE Connect, and it will cost you anywhere from 29,000 UK pounds. Next level up is the Premium, then you've got an N-Line, then an N-Line S, which is what this particular car is, and top of the range is the Ultimate. Ultimates will cost from around £33,000. And if you fancy an Ultimate with a tech pack, which means this car will be pretty much fully loaded, you're talking from around £39,000 UK and upwards. If you like red or black solid colours, they come as part of any of the trim level prices. However, there is a choice of another 10 different colours, and they will cost you anywhere from £300 to £650 extra. I particularly like this grey. It really offsets all the black and the other bits and pieces nicely. If you want to put a finishing touch to this car and you fancy a black roof to go with it, it's an extra £500. But at the end of the day, the choice is yours. Round at the back, entry-level cars get a decent-sized roof spoiler, and that has a brake light built into it. Hidden up inside there is your wash wipe as well. That's included. And so is the lovely privacy glass round the back here. I think all of it is really nice, the way it's all been put together. One thing I do love is this floaty rear windscreen. You don't get any rubber marks around here or any water sitting in there as well. You get that lovely sort of pin-sharp edge to it. It just finishes it off really nicely. You do get LED tail lights as well, and an LED bar that runs all the way through. It looks superb at night. There's sort of a bumper diffuser styly going on down here. You've got fog lights and reversing lights either side, and it all gets finished off with a lovely twin chrome exhaust pipe there. All in all, it's a really good looking car from behind as well as the front. Let's check out under the bonnet what the engine and gearbox configurations are. Bonnet release catch down here in the driver's footwell, single pull, nice and easy. Don't forget, if you're driving a left-hand drive version of this car, it's going to be in the passenger footwell. They're not going to swap it around, it costs too much money. The actual catch itself is right in the middle there. Pull it to the left, and then you're going to have to lift this. It's a very heavy bonnet. There's no gas struts on this. The actual bonnet stay is over here on the left-hand side. Pop that in there for safety. You'll also notice a little piece of rubber on here. Saves you burning your fingers, guys, because this actual piece of metal here, when you've been driving this engine for a little bit, makes the metal very hot indeed. So Hyundai put a bit of rubber on there. Good thinking, guys. No diesels available with this car. Only a 1.6 litre petrol turbo engine with different configurations built around it. I'll explain. Entry-level car comes in at 150 brake horsepower. It's two-wheel drive only. If you want four-wheel drive, it's premium line and above. So you've got to go for the premium trim level and above. If you go for the full hybrid, it's 230 brake horsepower, and the plug-in hybrid, which is also available with this, is 265 brake horsepower. You've got two choices on gearbox, 6-speed manual, 7-speed auto. All in all though, the actual configurations of this makes things very simple if you're going to go for the hybrid, depending on which one you go for. So let's check it out and see what you get boot size, which in this car is massive, trust me. First up, you will find we've got the inevitable parcel shelf, well, parcel blind. It's quite a nice one actually, it's quite premium quality, slides back like that. There's a nice little lip under here to get it out with, so if you just pop it, I'll show you that, I'll pop it out and show you, it's very easy to get out. There's a little catch here, so you just pull it back, you see it's sprung loaded. It makes life very easy. That some of them I find it really difficult to get in and out. Now, the problem with this is there is nowhere to put it. You can't put it underneath here because it's taken up with this pannier thing with your puncture repair kit, your latex, which you should throw away. Get yourself a space saver, guys, waste of space. You've got a pump in here as well, and it's just a complete waste of space. Be nice if you took that pannier out, you could get a space saver in there, and at the same time, I'm pretty sure there's got to be space to get this inside as well. But at the moment, I can't, so unfortunately, it's going to have to go around here while I show you the rest of the boot. So, 620 litres. That will change. It will go down a little bit if you go for the plug-in hybrid because of the various bits and pieces, the batteries and things like that, or if you go for the hybrid. If you go for standard petrol engine, it's going to come in at 620 litres, which is massive. It's class leading, huge boot in here. You're going to get plenty of stuff, whatever you need. Over on the right-hand side, you've got a 12-volt adapter. So if you need to pump up the kids' bike tyres, you know, you're out and about, you need to pump the tyres up, or if you've got a dinghy or, you know, anything like that, one of those wokey kayaks, you know, people keep buying and then find kayaks everywhere. Who buys a kayak? Why? But anyway, there's a 12-volt adapter over there, which is great. You've got shopping bag holders either side. Don't use those either. Absolute waste of space. One thing I do like about this car, it's got a very level load lip here. Now, unfortunately, it is plastic. So as you're lifting stuff in and out of here, I would suggest, just a personal thing, buy some sticky backed plastic. You can buy it anywhere in the world. It's like £1 a sheet. Just lay it on there. When it wears out, just rip it off and put a new piece on. But it will protect that, and maybe even a little bit on your bumper here as well. Because although it's quite a nice sort of low load lift here, you're still going to have to lift stuff in. And I think with prams and push chairs, it's going to scratch that, which will end up making it look really horrible in a couple of years' time. So buy yourself some, sticky back plastic to go on there. You've got 60-40 split. Now this is one of the big bugbears of mine with the Hyundai, with the Tucson itself. My big bugbears with Hyundai, I'll get it out in a minute, so it's one of those days. I'm going to show you, you've got to go round to put the seats down. So you've literally got to walk all the way around here like this, and then there's a lever down here, and you can pop the seat down like that, which is nice, but now I've got to walk round the other side, and I want to pop the seat down again. I've got to lift it like that. I find that quite strange in this day and age. We've got, so many cars out there where they've got the handles here, or, you can grab through and grab this. I find that very strange. Anyway, guys, check it out. Look at the size of that. Absolutely massive. You fit a double bed in there. You could go away for the weekend. You don't even need to buy a tent or a kayak. That's what I call versatility. Another thing I like, look at the height here as well. It makes loading things in and out of this car simple, absolutely simple. 10 out of 10 for a family car. Just a shame about the inconvenience having to go around and put the seats down. Right, before I jump in the back and show you what it's like for the passengers, just have a look at this door. Look at the rake on the door. Look how far back it goes. That is going to make putting a kiddie seat in here so easy. It's just, you just got so much manoeuvrability. That's what I'm trying to say. Or picking up mum and dad, someone a little bit older, maybe a little bit impaired, they need to help to get in and out. Look at the space you've got to do that. Jumping in, let's do it. First up, loads of room. Beautiful, comfy seat. It's doing it for me, definitely doing it for me. Another thing I want to point out, look at the size of that window. If you get car sick in the back of a car, that's the size window you need. This car's got privacy glass all the way around the back, but that's the trim level. But I'd have that, even if, if you bought an entry-level car, get yourself some privacy glass, really nice. Just finishes the car off around the back as well. Seats are nicely finished, got a big pocket down here, loads of places to store stuff, got independent air control in the back of this car, and on this particular trim level, you can actually change the temperature. How nice is that? You've got 2 USBs down the bottom there. So the little brats, they're not going to be arguing. They're going to be able to plug in. They're going to get, a couple of hours. They're still sat there on there, lovely. Everybody's quiet, everybody's happy. Low transmission tunnel in the middle. Makes getting in the middle very easy. Look at that. If you're picking someone up from the pub, that's about as far as I'd go with this centre seat. You can get 3 adults across here. It's really hard, this bit, and I wouldn't want to go very far on it. But as soon as you jump back in the side here, oh, wow, these are so comfortable. And I love the finish on these, the Alcantara and the leather. It's a really nice material to work with as well. So if you've got ice creams or fizzy drinks or sticky sweets or anything, providing you've Scotch guarded this, it's just going to wipe straight off. It's going to be so easy to keep clean. Really like that. Another thing which I'm very, very impressed with Hyundai and the Tucson are the fact that you haven't got those horrible plastic pulley outy or sprung loaded Isofix clips. Hate those. All they've put on here is a little marker where the Isofix clip is. So all you've got to do is locate it where the little sign is. Genius. That's all you need. So simple. Saves all the money as well on the plastic and the ecology, you know what I'm saying? Recessed seat belts, that's great again for jumping across here. And just generally all round, it's so nice and airy. I didn't expect it to be this, this sort of big. Even this car benefits from a panoramic sunroof as well. And I thought that that would sort of jeopardise the headroom in here, but it hasn't. It's made it even better in actual fact. In the centre here, you've got an armrest, very nice. Again, all leather clad. You've got double cup holder in here as well. Just everybody who's going to sit in the back here is just going to be super happy. I've got to say one thing though, it is nothing short of what I expected from the latest Tucson. So there you go. Well done, Hyundai. Ticked all the boxes. So when you get up front for the driver, you're going to notice you get pretty much everything as you see it here, even on the entry-level SE Connect car, which I'm really pleasantly surprised about. I love the 10.2-inch TFT touchscreen here. I like the fact that it's been built into the fascia itself. It's not like an appendage where it sits up higher and it impedes your vision. It's all there and it's, you know, part of the dashboard. I also like the way Hyundai have separated the heating controls down here. On the entry-level car, you get dual zone air climate control, or, you know, aircon as we call it. It's down here. It is touchy-feely. There's no knobs in here. Oh, there's no knobs. I know I love a knob, but unfortunately, it's no knobs, which, unfortunately, if you're going to get in here in the winter and you've got your gloves on, you're going to have to take your gloves off because none of this is going to work. You're going to have to sort of push a few times to get it to... So you're going to have to take the gloves off and get cold hands. Or if you've got wet hands, you know, when it's raining, you jump in the car, it's been pouring with rain, you haven't got your umbrella, soaking wet, you're trying to set the heating up, and it'll make a load of mess all over it. I like a knob. I think that's where I'm going with this. But apart from that, I mean, it's a really lovely setup. Got your aircon there. What more do you want? You also get a 10.2 digital cluster, which I really love. I think that's just such a nice way, the way it's set up there, and it all kind of matches as well. Really nice indeed. You get a leather steering wheel, even on your entry-level car. On to the right here, you'll have your driving aids. You get a number of different driving aids. I'm not going to talk about those now because we do that when we get out on the road, and I'll explain exactly what you get with the entry-level car with your driving aids, but they're all there on the right-hand side. Your media buttons are on the left here. So entry-level cars also get DAB radio, you've got Bluetooth connectivity, and that's all controlled over here. You control your telephone over here as well. So you've got your telephone button, you've got a star assign button here, so you can assign a command to that button. Top left, you've got your Ask Hyundai button, so you just push that once and say, Hyundai, where's the nearest petrol station or something? It will direct you to that. It's a very handy button to have. And then you've got your mode button on the top right there, where you switch between your radio, your telephone, whatever you're using to play your sounds, which again is brilliant. Love the steering wheel, really nice indeed. Nice shape, nice thickness as well. Standard positions for your wiper stalk and for your lighting stalk here. You've got auto lighting sensors on here as well, the dusk sensor, which is again comes with the entry-level car, the SE Connect. Down in the centre here, a couple of extra bits and pieces this car has. I'm going to point them out anyway because this is the N-line trim. You get the heated front seats and a heated steering wheel, and the buttons are just here. So if you're driving an entry-level car and you're wondering why you haven't got them, that's because this is the N-line trim, so you need to remember that. Down here you will get 2 USBs, and in the centre there you get a 12 volt as well, which is very nice indeed, so you can plug straight into that. On this particular car it happens to have a wireless charger for your iPhone, which is really nice. Double cup holder here, again really lovely. Your little sort of centre cubby here, it's a reasonable size, this one. You can get an iPhone in there easily with a few bits and pieces. Pretty sure you could get a small water bottle in there as well. Look at that. Yeah, perfect. So it's very handy to have that. There's also a separate little place here to the right for putting another phone, or if you're going to put some change down there, whatever you're going to use it for. So again, you know, nice little bits and pieces around everywhere. In the centre here, you've got the reverse camera and you've got the parking beeper button. So if you want to turn them on or off, there's the buttons there. You've also got your auto stall button there as well, thanks to my neighbours who are watching the proceedings. Can't beat a horse in the background. So you've got your auto stall button there. That's the one for the economy when you're in town, you keep stop starting. Personally, I like the fact you can turn it off. And I'm not saying that because I'm not an eco-friendly person. It just can become annoying a lot when you're in the traffic. To your right here, on this particular car, on the N-Line, you've got a diff lock as well, but that's another story. We won't go into that today because this is an all-wheel drive car. You've got the hill descent control button there. That does come with the standard car, with your entry-level car. Again, I'll explain that when I get out on the road. And then below that, you've got an auto hold button as well. Again, I'll explain that when we're out on the road. So there's a lot to explain when we get out on the road. But all in all, guys, I mean, it is a beautifully appointed front here. It's very premium feel, premium look as well. And I think as an entry-level car with all the bits that you're getting, you can't really go wrong. So when you first get out on the road in the Tucson, the one thing you're going to notice straight away is how quiet it is. And this particular trim level car that we're driving has the bigger 19-inch rims on it. So if you were buying an entry-level car with 17-inch rims, it's going to be even quieter than this, which I find incredible. Comfort-wise, this car is second to none. I've driven a lot of SUVs over the last few years, and this one really nails it with these seats. They are incredibly comfortable. I've driven quite a few hundred miles in this car. I've had it 10 days now. We've been road testing it. We've been all over the country in it, and I've got to say, I haven't had one sore back. I haven't had to get out. You know, when sometimes you've been driving a couple of hours, you get out the car and it's like, oh, you really have to have a stretch. Nothing. In this car, it just seems as if it's just built to last, you know, built to take you on a decent journey. Another thing I have also noticed in this car is the all-round peripheral vision. Not only just up the front here with this massive windscreen, whatever you want to call it, but also through the back there for manoeuvring the car, for parking the car. You know, from behind, the screen itself looks quite small, whereas from inside it's more than adequate. You can easily see out there, even when you've got 2 or 3 people in the back. I love these big windows on the side, and I love the big mirrors on this car. They really sort of gives you a bit of surety in your blind spot down there as well. There's a couple of other bits that I want to talk about with the car. It gets modes in this car. Yes, it gets modes. You've got normal mode, you've got economy mode, and you've got a sport mode. Now the mode button, in order to change into those different modes, is just down here below your gear shift. I have opted for the auto version of this car because I just feel it's the right decision for me. I mean, obviously if you like a manual car, but I feel if you're going to be driving one of these, it's going to be used quite a lot on a regular basis. This is not a weekend car, this is a regular day-to-day car, and to take the effort out of driving and having to change gear and think about everything, I think it's much nicer having that auto gearbox. So anyway, just behind there's the driving mode button. Very easy to access. All you've got to do is click down. So if you were originally in the economy mode, you will now be into normal mode. There's a slight animation and a colour change to let you know you're in the normal mode. To be honest, driving this car, I think the normal mode is really good for long journeys. It tends to soften up a little bit on the suspension, but you've still got a decent amount of, you know, throttle and acceleration. It doesn't lag as much. If you move down once again, you will go into sport mode. Now again, a nice animation, and we change to a red colour, dictating that you are now in a sporty mode. Now I'm going to say the only thing I have noticed in the sport mode is the actual acceleration, the bang for your buck when it comes to throttle. The rest of it, I haven't noticed any heavyweight steering or lightening of the steering. I haven't felt any of the springs or any of the suspension, tightening up or bigger. It just feels like all it's done is give me a little bit more bang for my buck, when it comes to accelerating. So I don't know, maybe it's just me the way I'm driving the car, but I can't feel any difference apart from that. And then if you pull down once more, you go into the eco mode. Again, lovely animation, changes into a different colour. It's in a light blue, letting you know you're getting the most you can for your economy. Now, let's speak a little bit about economy. In order to access your economy in this car, you need to use your little buttons over here on the right-hand side of the wheel, steering wheel. Top left-hand corner, you will find a mode button. If you click that once, twice, maybe 3 or 4 times, there we go, it's come up, driver information. And then below that, it's a little scroll button up and down. If you push up or down, you'll see you can go through energy flow, accumulated info, there we go. So we are currently getting, and I call this around town, 30.6 to the gallon, which is pretty good. This is the mild hybrid car that I'm driving today, so it's not the full hybrid. There is also a plug-in hybrid, which according to Hyundai is the most economical one to go for. Apparently that will get you 49 to the gallon. That's fair enough. I know the full hybrid will be giving you somewhere in the region of late 30s, early 40s. And this car, I would imagine late 30s, early 40s as well. Driving it on a run in cruise control, you're going to get your maximum bang for your buck. So currently 30.6 around town. It's not bad for a 1.6 litre engine. So all in all, it's a good, comfortable car, good all-round vision, and at the end of the day, I think it's reasonably economical. So one thing the Tucson gets, even on the entry-level car, are a number of driving aids that in some cases with other manufacturers you're going to be paying a lot of extra money for, or buying, those packs that they always sell you, the traffic assist pack, things like that. Well, with this car, I'm happy to say you get pretty much everything when you buy the entry-level car. All of the driving aids are accessed over here on the right-hand side of your steering wheel. All of the buttons correspond to what I'm going to tell you now, so you can figure those out when you go on your test drive or actually purchase your Tucson. You do get cruise control, I'm pleased to say, which is really nice, handy. You get lane keepy and lane follow. Lane keepy can become a little bit annoying sometimes. You can turn it off and on by just simply holding the button down for a few seconds and it will disengage. Setting the cruise control is easy. It's top right hand side of the button there. Just hold it down and it will come up in your digital display. In addition to that, you will get the autonomous braking in town. You've got the cross traffic alert system as well when you're reversing. You do get the reverse camera and you get rear beepers as well, which again, really nice to have on an entry-level car. Again, you know, you'd be paying extra for that with quite a few manufacturers who will remain nameless, shall we say. You get the accident avoidance or the collision avoidance system built into this car as well. That's very good. I quite like having that. It takes over if it feels that you're going to be, you know, there's an impending collision about to happen. You get an auto hill hold on this car. So basically, when you're on a hill and you have to pull away, the handbrake takes over autonomously and will, you know, allow you just to pull away without rolling back. It's also handy when you've got a trailer on the back or, you know, something you're pulling like a caravan or something of a little bit of weight. Another thing this car gets, which I was really shocked, even on the entry-level car, is the hill descent control button down here. There's a button down here. You only normally find this on really expensive 4x4s, but I found it on this car. So basically, it's like cruise control for going down hills in slippery conditions. That's the best way to describe it. So you push that on and you can set that, and the car, you can actually take your feet off the brakes and the accelerator and go down a steep hill, and the car will actually, you know, adjust accordingly where it finds the grip. And it's just really incredible. I didn't expect that in an entry-level Tucson. I must admit, that blew me away a bit. Finally, you get like a driver fatigue monitor, which will tell you when you need to stop and have a cup of tea. And you've also got the tyre pressure monitor on here as well, which again is quite handy when you jump in the car, and it will check the tyre pressures for you and let you know. But all in all, I mean, the number of driving aids that you are getting for an entry-level car are, you know, above and beyond. That's all I can say. I think it's stacked. With all new Hyundai cars, you receive a really, really decent warranty. It's 5 years, unlimited mileage, which I think is superb. Don't forget, it's also transferable, so if you do sell the car within the 5 years, you can transfer it straight over to the new owner for whatever the balance or the remainder of that warranty is. In addition to that, Hyundai will offer you 5 free health checks over the period of the warranty as well. So you get a health check every year on your car, which is decent. You get roadside assistance, accident assistance as standard, that's all included. You get map updates and software updates, that's included as well. If you're driving a hybrid or any one of the vehicles that's got a battery in it, you'll get an 8-year or 100,000 mile battery warranty, which covers you on your battery. That's, you know, that's something you really got to look at when you're buying anything that has electrical power in it. In addition to that, bodywork starts, you know, the bits and pieces on your bodywork, anti-perforation or anti-corrosion, whichever you want to call it, 12 years and a 5-year paint warranty as well. So you're pretty much covered on all your bodywork. All in all, what a decent bit of kit, what a decent warranty. Can't really go wrong, can you? So there you have it, the Hyundai Tucson. What a car, what a beautiful car. I know a lot of people say beauty is only skin deep, but even under the skin, this car is beautiful. It's well set up, it's well balanced. It's a family car at the end of the day, but it's got all the looks of a supermodel. How would I compare it? Well, I've always loved the Kia Sportage, as you probably know. If you watch me on a regular basis, I always wax lyrical about the Kia Sportage. However, I think this would definitely give it a run for its money. In actual fact, if you're thinking of buying either this or the Kia Sportage, test both of them. because at the end of the day, the choice is down to you. I can wax lyrical about both of them. You've been watching me, AJ, on the Player YouTube channel. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget, like, subscribe and comment. You got any comments, leave them in the box down below. One of the team will get back to you as soon as possible. If you can give us a big thumbs up, I'd really appreciate it. We don't get a bonus or any extra pay, but what we do get is a pat on the back from the bosses to say job well done. Because if you thumbs up, that means you've enjoyed what you've been watching. If you wouldn't mind subscribing, it's down there. Leave the bell sign unchecked, because as you saw at the beginning of this video, we do loads and loads of other stuff. We don't just do car reviews. There's all sorts of stuff going on there. And the reason why? We're part of the Player. Now, the Player is something you can get your hands on completely free of charge. It's a bookazine, which is a magazine that has a hardback and comes out on the frequency of a magazine. That will make sense. So every 3 months, there's a new one. 220 pages of everything us guys love. There's cars in there like this, there's different cars, there's classic cars, there's motorbikes, there's jet skis, there's golf, there's holidays, there's food, there's interviews. I can keep going on and on. It's 220 pages. It's yours completely free of charge, the online version. I can't give you the actual book. They cost £100 each plus postage, but I can give you the identical version that's online. All you've got to do to get that is go to www.theplayer.co.uk. Make it easy. It's coming in here now. I'll leave it down there for a couple of minutes so you can just keep an eye on it and memorize it. If you head to the top of the page when you get to the website, it says register. Now, I know what you're saying. I haven't got time to fill in loads of forms. You don't have to. I just need your name and your email address, and then you can either download it or view it online whenever you fancy. It's as simple as that. It costs nothing. It's yours for free. Every issue from the minute you subscribe is completely free of charge. It's on me. There you go. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you have enjoyed this little review of the Hyundai Tucson. I've definitely had a marvellous time out driving it about and getting to understand what's under the skin. I'll catch you next week. Something different. Take care, guys.